Jimmy G. Buckets, a one-man wrecking crew that is famous for elevating his game in the playoffs to a superstar level. Butler is easily a top 3 player every playoffs and might be the best two-way player in the NBA today. His combination of tenacity, will, and grit with an arsenal of elite footwork and shot making make him an unstoppable playoff performer. Nothing demonstrates this more than his 56-point masterclass that put Miami up 3-1 in a first-round matchup against the 1-seed Milwaukee Bucks, including a 42-point masterclass to pull off the first 1-8 upset since 2012. Butler consistently wills his teams to huge victories in the playoffs, but how did 29 teams pass on a future superstar in the 2011 NBA draft? Let's take a look at all 29 players drafted before Jimmy Butler, see how their careers panned out, and look at where they are now. Let's get into it. At number 1, we have Kyrie Irving, and he's been in the news a lot lately, and that was just because he requested a trade from Brooklyn on February 3rd, and then he got traded to the Dallas Mavericks very shortly after. So now he's going to be pairing with Luka Doncic for at least the rest of the 2023 season. We'll see what happens after that because it's unknown where he's going to go after, since he is a free agent this summer. But regardless, he was with the Cavs till 2017. He performed a nice duo with LeBron, won a championship in 2016, then requested a trade from there, and he was with Boston from 2017 to 2019, and he's been with Brooklyn since 2019, but it's kind of been a little bit tumultuous there for him. But now he's on the Mavericks, as I said, and we'll see what happens with that. At number 2, we have Derrick Williams. He had an extremely dominant college career, and that's why he was the number 2 overall pick. Unfortunately, it never really panned out for him the way most thought it would. He had great athleticism and was a good scorer as well as a good rebounder, but he kind of showed off those things in spurts at the NBA level and wasn't able to put it together consistently. He never really broke out to be a star player. He spent 2.5 seasons with Minnesota, 1.5 seasons with Sacramento. He did have a great season with the Knicks in 2016, but couldn't really find a consistent role in the NBA after that. He had a short stint with the Heat and Cavs both in 2017, but he's been playing in the EuroLeague since 2018, and he signed a contract to play in the EuroLeague over the summer again for the 2023 season. At number 3, we have Enes Freedom, who was formerly Enes Kanter. He started off his career on the Jazz and later had some of his best seasons on the Thunder when he was traded there in 2015. He was always super talented offensively, a great rebounder, and one of the best 6-men in the NBA at that time when he was on the Thunder, but he had his best seasons with the Knicks in 2018 and on Portland in 2019, but he's bounced around between Portland and Boston the past couple years. He was let go by Boston during the 2022 season and has since been speaking out against the NBA's ties with China and against his home country in Turkey. At number 4, we have Tristan Thompson. He spent his first 9 seasons with the Cavs as a steady, reliable center and a tremendous offensive rebounder. He was on Boston in 2021 and was on the Kings and Pacers in the 2022 season before signing with the Bulls shortly after the 2022 All-Star break. He's still a great offensive rebounder and reliable backup center, so he could get another opportunity before the 2023 season ends, possibly on the Lakers though, as he alluded to that when he recently went on ESPN and said he wanted to rejoin LeBron on the Lakers and unite with him. At number 5, we have Jonas Valanciunas. He was with the Raptors till the 2019 trade deadline, and he was a really good center for them for around 7.5 seasons. Then he played in Memphis until 2021, and now he's been on the Pelicans from 2021 until now. He's always been one of the most underrated centers, a great rebounder, an excellent scorer. He's also a great floor spacer at the 5 spot. You could almost argue he was a perennial all-star in his Memphis days. He had a very good season with the Pelicans last year. Hopefully he can continue to be a good piece for the Pelicans, and we'll see how his career pans out with them going forward. At number 6, we have John VESEL. His NBA career didn't last that long. He only played 3 seasons in the NBA with the Wizards and Nuggets. He was one of the many big men to get drafted top 10, and though his NBA career didn't pan out, he's had a potent career overseas with a Turkish club and signed a 3-year deal to play with FC Barcelona of the EuroLeague during the 2022 offseason. At number 7, we have BIYOMBO. He's been a steady center for the majority of his career as a good shot blocker and rim runner. He had his best year in Toronto in 2016 and has bounced around to the Magic, Hornets, and now the Phoenix Suns. He was a tremendous backup center to DeAndre Ayton and JaVale McGee last season, so the Suns re-signed him in the 2022 offseason after McGee left for Dallas. He hasn't gotten as many opportunities this season for Phoenix, but he's still a valuable rim running and shot blocking center that pretty much any team could use. At number 8, we have Brandon Knight. He started his career as a solid scoring guard in Detroit, but broke out as a 20-point scorer and perennial all-star with the Bucks. He was traded to Phoenix at the 2015 trade deadline and continued his great play until 2016, but injuries plagued him after that season. Unfortunately, he never bounced back from those injuries, but has had many stints with the Rockets, Cavs, Pistons, and the Mavericks since. He ended off the 2022 season going between the Mavericks and then the Skyforce in the G League, but it's unclear where he's playing professionally or if he's playing professionally anywhere for the 2023 season. At number 9, we have Kemba Walker. He was with Charlotte until 2019 and became their all-time leading scorer. Then he signed with Boston and was there until 2021 when he got traded to the Thunder and got bought out by them during the 2021 offseason. Then he signed a 2-year deal with the Knicks and was eventually traded to Detroit in the 2022 offseason after not getting much playing time on the Knicks. Eventually he was waived by Detroit and signed a 10-day contract with the Mavs during the 2023 season, but he was never re-signed. Unfortunately, knee injuries kind of derailed his career. I still think he can contribute at a high level to any NBA team, and I think he's severely getting overlooked, so I really hope Kemba gets another opportunity soon to show what he can do. At number 10, we have Jimmer Fredette. He was a college sensation at BYU with his insane scoring ability, but his NBA career didn't pan out like most thought. He was with the Kings for 2.5 seasons, Chicago for half a season, with the Pelicans for a little over season, with the Knicks for a few games during the 2016 season, and he even had a short stint with the Suns back in 2019 after being out of the NBA for 3 years. But he made a name for himself with the Shanghai Sharks in the CBA as a dominant scorer who averaged nearly 38 points per game during one of his seasons there. He last played in the TBT in 2022 for the Money Team, and he recently won FIBA's 3v3 AmeriCup gold medal in 2022 for the USA. At number 11, we have Klay Thompson. He's been with the Warriors his whole career, and he established himself as possibly the second greatest shooter of all time early on in his career, next to Steph Curry. He played his best basketball in the 2019 playoffs before tearing his ACL Game 6 of the 2019 Finals. Unfortunately, it took him 2.5 years to recover from his ACL injury because he also tore his Achilles before the 2021 season started. But now he's starting to look like himself again from an efficiency and production standpoint, and he has gotten better every month during the 2023 season. At number 12, we have ALEC BURKS. He was with Utah for 7.5 seasons. Then he was traded to Cleveland during the 2019 season. Then he was with the Warriors and Sixers in 2020. Then he was with the Knicks in 2021 and 2022. And now he is currently on the Pistons. He's been a really good scorer throughout his career. Very efficient. He's also a great vet and a good locker room guy. And he's been very valuable for Detroit so far this season. At number 13, we have Markieff Morris. He was with Phoenix for 4.5 seasons. Then he was traded to Washington during the 2016 season. He was on the Wizards then until he got traded to the Thunder during the 2019 season. Then he was with Detroit and the Lakers in 2020. Then he re-signed with the Lakers for the 2021 season. Then he was with Miami in 2022, but he only played 17 games after a neck injury, and now he's with Brooklyn this season. He's always been a really good floor spacer at the 4 position, and he's always provided some great toughness and defense to every team he's been on. At number 14, we have the other Morris brother, Marcus Morris Sr. He started off his career in Houston for 1.5 seasons. Then he was traded to Phoenix during the 2013 season. Then he signed with Detroit for the 2016 season after 3 seasons with Phoenix. Then he signed with the Celtics for the 2018 seasons and was there for 2 years. Then he signed with the Knicks in 2020 and averaged nearly 20 points per game on almost 44% from 3. But then during that season, he got traded to the Clippers, and he's been on there ever since. At number 15, we have Kawhi Leonard. He played with the Spurs for 7 seasons. He was a Finals MVP in 2014. Then he also won a title with the Raptors and his second Finals MVP in 2019. Then he signed with the Clippers, and he's been there ever since. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL in the 2021 playoffs and now tore his meniscus in Game 1 of the 2023 playoffs versus Phoenix. It's unfortunate because he hasn't really been healthy that much during his Clippers stint, so hopefully him and George can be healthy and finally make another playoff run. At number 16, we have NIKOLA VUCEVIC. He spent his rookie season with Philadelphia, then spent 8.5 seasons with Orlando. He was a 2-time All-Star there in 2019 and 2021. Then he was traded to Chicago in 2021, and he spent the past 2.5 seasons there. He's always been a really solid center. He's a great floor spacing big as well, just a very talented offensive center. At number 17, we have IMAN Shumpert. He spent his first 3.5 seasons with the Knicks. Then he was traded to Cleveland during the 2015 season. He won a championship with them in 2016 and was there through the 2018 season. Then he was with Sacramento and Houston during the 2019 season. Then he played 15 games combined in 2 separate stints with Brooklyn in the 2020 and 2021 seasons. He hasn't really played professional basketball since, and he has been seen on various basketball podcasts here and there. At number 18, we have Chris Singleton. He spent his first 3 seasons with Washington, but then he played overseas from 2015 to 2018 with 1 stint in the G League in 2015, but has been playing on the Anadolu Efes for the past 4 years, which is a professional team in Turkey. At number 19, we have Tobias Harris. He played his first 1.5 seasons with Milwaukee. Then he was traded to the Magic during the 2013 season. Then he was with Orlando until getting traded again to Detroit midway through the 2016 season. Then he was traded to the Clippers midway through the 2018 season. He has best years with the Clippers, but he was traded midway through the 2019 season to Philadelphia, and he has been there ever since. However, his production has been in a steady decline with the emergence of Tyrese Maxey and James Harden, but he is still an efficient scorer and a solid defender. At number 20, we have Donatas MOTIEJUNAS. He started his career in 2013 with the Houston Rockets. He played there for 4 seasons. He was a solid stretch big there with his best season in 2015, but his production did drop off after that season. Then he played with New Orleans for the 2017 season. Then he also played 3 games with the Spurs during the 2018 season, but then after he has played in the Chinese Basketball Association in the 2020 and 2022 seasons, and now he has been with a French basketball club in the EuroLeague, AS Monaco Basket, since 2021. At number 21, we have Nolan Smith. He played only 2 seasons in the NBA with Portland, and he only played 84 games. He was a point guard and likely didn't get much opportunity with the emergence of Damian Lillard. Then after that, he spent the 2015 season in the Turkish Basketball League and the G League. Then he joined the Duke coaching staff in February 2016. He was an assistant coach from April 2021 to April 2022 after a promotion, but then he did join the Louisville Cardinals coaching staff under Kenny Payne. And fun fact, Smith's father actually won a national championship there in 1980, so that was likely a reason he joined the Louisville Cardinals coaching staff. At number 22, we have KENNETH. He played for the Nuggets for 7 seasons. He was an athletic, defensive-minded player, but was kind of phased out of the rotation a little bit because he really didn't shoot threes as a 4-man, and he couldn't really defend centers, at least it was thought that, so he kind of fell out of the rotation like I said. After that, he played in Brooklyn and Houston in the 2019 season. He actually averaged 12 points a game for Houston and averaged 35% from 3 while shooting 58% overall from the field, but he wasn't re-signed or picked up by any NBA team after. Then he played on the Blazers Summer League roster in the 2021 Summer League, and he did have many stints overseas and in the G League, but recently in the 2023 season, he played for Mexico's G League team. At number 23, we have NIKOLA MIROTIC. He played for Chicago for 3.5 seasons. Then he was traded during the 2018 season to the Pelicans after an incident with Bobby Portis in October 2017 because it had caused some locker room issues. I'm not really going to get into that, but he did help the Pelicans make a nice playoff run in 2018. Then he also played 32 games with the Pelicans in 2019, but then he was traded to Milwaukee and played 14 games with them. Despite having one of his best seasons in 2019, he actually left the NBA for good to sign with FC Barcelona of the EuroLeague, and he has been there ever since, and he actually won the EuroLeague MVP during the 2022 season, and he has had a lot of good success overseas. At number 24, we have Reggie Jackson. He played for Oklahoma City for his first 3.5 seasons. Then he was traded to Detroit during the 2015 season. He actually had his best year in 2016 with Detroit. Then he was with Detroit until midway through the 2020 season when he was waived, and then the Clippers did pick him up in 2020, and he played with them until getting traded to the Hornets midway through the 2023 season. Then he did sign with Denver shortly after, but he did fall out of their rotation. His future in the NBA is unclear, but some team will probably pick him up for next season as he's a really solid backup point guard who can give you a nice bench spark and some scoring. At number 25, we have MARSHON Brooks. He played for the Nets for his first 2 years. Then he was with Boston, Golden State, and the Lakers during the 2014 season. Then he actually played 7 games with Memphis in the 2018 season and actually averaged over 20 points per game on 59% from 3. Then he played 29 more games with Memphis in the 2019 season, but then he was never in the NBA since. He's been with the Guangdong Southern Tigers of the CBA since midway through the 2019 season, and he averaged 23.4 points per game for the Southern Tigers during the 2023 season. At number 26, we have Jordan Hamilton. He spent his first 2.5 seasons with Denver. Then he was with Houston for half a season, the Clippers for the 2015 season. Then he was with the Pelicans for the 2016 season and averaged 11 points per game in 11 games played, but he was never in the NBA after that. He played for many overseas teams since 2016, and for the 2023 season, he was on the Nishinomiya Storks in the Japanese Basketball League, and he actually leads the team in scoring at 17.6 points per game. At number 27, we have JAJUAN Johnson. He only played for 1 NBA season in Boston in 2012. Then he played for 3 G League teams during the 2013 season, and he's also played for a variety of European teams since 2013, but he most recently played for a professional team called the Gravelines in France, where he is the second leading scorer at 15.3 points per game. At number 28, we have Norris Cole. He played for Miami for his first 3.5 seasons and won 2 championships with LeBron James in his rookie and sophomore seasons. Then he was traded to the Pelicans during the 2015 season and also spent the 2016 season with New Orleans. He also played 13 games with OKC in the 2017 season, but he hasn't played in the NBA since. He played for a variety of overseas teams, and he most recently played for the Grand Rapids Gold in the G League for the 2023 season. And at 29, we have Cory Joseph. He spent his first 4 seasons with San Antonio and won a championship there in 2014. Then he spent 2 seasons with Toronto in 2016 and 2017. Then 2 seasons with Indiana in 2018 and 2019, where he played all 82 games for both seasons he was there. Then he played for Sacramento for 1.5 seasons. Then he was traded to Detroit midway through the 2021 season and has been there ever since. And he's always been a super steady and reliable backup point guard. And that is what happened to all 29 players drafted before Jimmy Butler. If you're watching this during the 2023 playoffs, Jimmy Butler is having one of the best playoff runs of all time. He's been absolutely amazing, and we will see what he does for the rest of this playoff run. It depends when you guys watch this. Maybe the Miami Heat will be eliminated by the Knicks. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll make a finals run. Who knows? But Jimmy Butler has been amazing. It's crazy that 29 players got drafted before him. But if there's any other players you guys want to see me do, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.